To Mormons, the introduction. I've been trying every single way to try and get through to the Mormons, to the Mormon audience. But Mormons are very hard-hearted. But the Book of Mormon already predicted that. The Book of Mormon is a template of the last days, whether you believe it or not. Yes, it's all taken from plagiarized material. Yes, it was an attempt to save the native Indians of further genocide as America expanded westward, rather than an actual historical document. You think that because it talks about Jesus, that it's all great and true in a different way than intended. You're not in the Freemasons, nor have you at least studied them to know that the Book of Mormon is full of the symbolism. But then Mormons don't even study their own Book of Mormon, and instead treat it as an idol, because it contains the right words, i.e., Jesus, faith, and repentance. As a result, when one of your own, i.e., me, warns you of the danger we are all in, you blame me, shun me, accuse me, hate me, ignore me to such an extreme that several of you have wanted me silenced, removed from society, and even murdered, and you think that makes you the good guys. And yet, this perfectly illustrates that you don't know your Book of Mormon, and all the characters who stood up to warn the people and how they were received. Just as the Book of Mormon tells of the Jews looking beyond the mark, so too have you. You wait for the current president of the church to compel you in all things, before you will think and act for yourself. And yet the prophets have been silent, and even anti-second coming. This picture was leaked from a PowerPoint presentation with the brethren. Notice on the far right, they call Last Days Prophecies as predictions. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Day Saints is all about the latter days, and yet the brethren don't believe in the last days prophecies. Also notice the racism, language and cultural problems, ites. But also notice they don't see me as a threat, and that's where they made their biggest mistake, because that enabled me to infiltrate their infiltration of God's church by being born into the church. Notice also that they are blaming and accusing Mormons for what they, the leaders, caused, such as incredulity over church history. I no longer want anything to do with the church because of my independent research of church history. The church only allows their version of church history, and will not fill in all the gaps and holes with their official account. I researched and found those holes, such as the New Israelites of Vermont, and William Morgan, whose disappearance started the anti-Freemasonic movement. But if you won't do your research, you remain in ignorance, choosing to continue to believe the lies and deception of the brethren. Look at the United States, as it has fallen into ruin with the corrupt government, just like King Noah. Now look at the state of Utah. It is exactly the same, and has been long before our current federal administration. I, of all people, know, for I am still a political prisoner at the hands of the Utah government, who wanted me silenced, removed from society, and even attempted to murder me. How do you think Armageddon was going to occur? just in Jerusalem and no place else? What nation did you believe was going to be the nation controlled by John the Revelator's beast? Which church did you believe was going to be the church controlled by John the Revelator's false prophet? How many churches do you know have prophets leading them? You do know that the Book of Mormon talks about John's Book of Revelation, don't you? How many of you took astronomy at BYU? Oh, no one? Well, our calendar is based upon the movements of the celestial bodies, in particular a merging of the sun and moon with Norse gods for the names of the days of the week, and Roman gods and Latin names for the months of the year. Well, guess what? Back in John's day, they too also established dating with the movements of the stars and planets around the zodiac. The ancients were so good at calendar making that they were able to predict future stellar signs, such as solar and lunar eclipses. You know, the last days prophecies of Joel, Jesus, and John. But John went one step further and gave us a future date of when it will all hit the fan, so to speak. But then again, you're waiting for the current church president to reveal it all to you, and yet he hasn't and won't. Who do you want to put the fate of the world in? The one who is warning you of what was prophesied, or those who are in the position to do the warning and refuse to do their job because they don't believe the prophecies? Choose ye this day